CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 11 p.m.
Vandenberg, LZ4, the Falcon has landed.
A spectacle in the sky, SpaceX pulling off a stellar launch and a historic landing. Tonight's mission, the first of its kind here on the West Coast.
What a sight. A Falcon 9 rocket successfully took off and its booster was back on the ground in a matter of minutes. CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live in Ventura where he watched the launch tonight with a very enthusiastic crowd. Jeff?
You know, Peter and Sandy, Vandenberg Air Force Base is directly behind us, and that is why this cul-de-sac became a bit of an impromptu science fair tonight for some parents and their kids. As SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from Vandenberg Air Force Base, you can hear the starry-eyed enthusiasm of kids in Ventura watching as a pair of expanding contrails created what looked like a giant jellyfish in the heavens. Frankie and Austin Podrad drove to Seaward Beach from Malibu so that 2-year-old Caroline could experience this.
We just wanted to have her see something big and bold and special.
Special because the rocket is delivering an Argentine satellite into space, but the headline is its booster didn't just fall into the ocean.
Vandenberg, LZ4, the Falcon has landed.
Instead, it landed right back where it started, in Santa Barbara County.
That saves Americans and the companies that build these rockets an enormous amount of income because we are creating a reusable system.
This was the first time SpaceX was able to stick a landing like this on the West Coast. The speck on our camera captured the ooh-ah moment for kids like Caroline.
I think that Caroline's going to think back and remember when she was looking up at the sky and just hearing her yell, "Wow, wow."
Perhaps an experience that will one day inspire her to shoot for the stars.
We want her to develop and be the biggest and best she can be, and, kind of full throttle, no restrictions.
And we were expecting to hear a sonic boom when that rocket booster returned to Earth, but that didn't happen for us. Despite that, pretty safe to say that everyone here had quite a blast. Live in Ventura, Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
We see what you did there, Jeff. Quite a blast. Those images just look spectacular.
Right?
It doesn't even look real. People all across Southern California saw the rocket take off, and they had their phones out ready to capture the moment. This is video taken in North Hollywood.
And a similar scene out in the high desert. These photos were shared on Twitter. The rocket did leave a trail of light all across the sky, and it was visible there in Hemet.
And Laura Edwards sent us these photos from up in the Bay Area. You could see how the night sky lit up in the town of Corte Madera when the rocket launched.
All right, breaking news right now from South LA, where firefighters are out working on a blaze in a woodshop warehouse. This video coming in from Sky 2. It's the 5800 block of South Hooper Avenue. They attacked this fire hard because they were really concerned that it might spread to some nearby buildings. LA City and county fire departments are on the scene.
Tragedy in upstate New York where a limo crash killed 20 people.
Investigators now say it's the nation's deadliest road accident in almost 10 years. CBS 2's Brittany Hopper is live in the newsroom with what we're learning about the tragedy tonight. Brittany.
Sandy and Peter, just so sad. There were 18 people in the limo, no survivors. 2 pedestrians were also killed. New York State Police say that the driver sped past a stop sign and lost control. It happened on a steep downhill road that residents say is a dangerous intersection.
Respond to the intersection of State Route 30 and 38. Any reports of a multi-vehicle motor vehicle accident. Unknown injuries at this time.
A horrific sight where 20 people were killed, 18 passengers and 2 pedestrians after a limousine crashed in upstate New York.
The limousine traveled across the intersection into a parking lot and struck a 2015 Toyota Highlander that was unoccupied and parked.
It happened Saturday afternoon in a small town about 170 miles north of New York City. A relative told CBS News that the victims in the limo had been on a wine tour. A woman who lives nearby says she heard the crash and knew it was bad.
I heard this loud bang. I came out and then I heard screaming. I walked up and I could see this large van, very unusual looking vehicle for out here in Schoharie, in the bushes and really wrecked.
Authorities say the limo driver lost control. The tragedy is being investigated by the National Transportation Safety Board and the New York State Police.
I've been on the board for 12 years, and this is one of the biggest loss of lives that we've seen in a long, long time.
Now, family members of those who were killed say that the limo was carrying 4 sisters, relatives, and friends celebrating a 30th birthday party. Live in the newsroom, Brittany Hopper, CBS 2 News.
And a developing story right now. There's big progress to report in containing a huge wildfire to our north. 2 fires burning right now, one in Vacaville, a larger one in Fairfield.
After growing to more than 4,000 acres, the fire is now 70% contained. At least 1 home and several buildings burned earlier, but at this hour, no homes are threatened.
All right, yesterday, Justice Brett Kavanaugh was confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Today, though, more protests.
Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
A group of protesters gathered in downtown LA today to oppose Justice Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation. They held up signs in support of sexual assault survivors.
What we have all experienced as survivors is a process that has felt very much like an assault. And so it's very important for us to come out here today to say we see what you did, how you did it, and it's not okay.
The protesters started their demonstration in Pershing Square and then marched to City Hall.
After a private Supreme Court ceremony last night, President Trump will have a public ceremony for Justice Brett Kavanaugh at the White House tomorrow. Justice Kavanaugh's first vote as a member of the Supreme Court could come on Tuesday. The court will consider how much power the court should have over top executive branch officials. And of course, we will have continuing coverage of Justice Kavanaugh's first week on the Supreme Court right here on CBS 2 News and on our website, cbsla.com.
Well, the Dodgers went for the sweep tonight in Atlanta, but fell short. Hate to say it, losing to the Braves 6-5, but they still lead the series, and Game 4 is on tomorrow.
Yeah, fans disappointed tonight, of course, but still pretty confident the team will punch their ticket to the NLCS.
CBS 2's Greg Mills spoke with Dodgers fans in Pasadena.
This place really cleared out pretty quickly after the Dodgers lost. I was told they had this broom ready for a sweep, but that didn't happen. A swing and a miss in Atlanta left Dodgers fans feeling blue in Pasadena.
Still sad.
We just need one more.
One more, so tomorrow it'll be good. Still have faith.
As do these Dodgers faithful, packing Barney's Beanery in Pasadena in their Sunday best, paying tribute to their boys in blue with their blue and white, and holding out hope.
Tomorrow will be a better day.
Can't always win them all, right?
Nope, but the Dodgers were on a roll, winning the West and then showing Atlanta who was best in the first 2 games in L.A. before a little slip-up tonight in Atlanta.
I have faith that my Dodgers will pull off the victory. We will be at the World Series again.
You haven't lost your Dodger faith?
No, I haven't.
They're going to win the series?
Yeah, they will.
Dodgers fans were so into it. Every TV on the big game, except for this one. Watching football instead of the Dodgers. One more thing I found out later, this broom is actually just a sweep the floors. In Pasadena, Greg Mills, CBS 2 News.
That has a double function there.
Yeah, right?
They're going to have to put the brooms away, unfortunately. All right, Bill Cosby wants out of prison. Coming up, his attorneys file a new motion in court.
Plus, parents on edge after children get a mystery illness that has symptoms like polio.
And shots fired as police go after a group accused of selling drugs in the San Fernando Valley. Amber?
And after a cool weekend here in the Southland, things are going to start to change. I'll have your work week forecast on the way.